The storm outside Varenth had not weakened. Frozen rain hammered endlessly against the black fortress walls while thunder rolled across the oceans far below the cliffs. Inside the war chamber, the tension had become sharp enough to cut skin. Darius Rain stood opposite both his brother and father, while the deactivated projection screens still glowed faintly around them. Nobody spoke for several long moments after his outburst. Then finally Cassian broke the silence. "You grow emotional in your age." Darius laughed quietly. "No." He pointed toward the dark projection where Kenny's image had disappeared moments earlier. "You are both simply too blind to see what you created." Lord Rain folded his arms tightly. "Kenny threatened our entire bloodline, and whose fault is that?" Darius stepped closer immediately. "You raised him like a weapon." The storm outside cracked violently through the sky. Lord Rain's expression hardened. "He was raised for survival." "No." Darius pointed directly at him. "He was raised alone." Silence. That one landed harder than anything else he had said so far, because all three men understood the difference. Cassian slowly walked around the war table calmly. "The boy has become dangerous." Darius answered instantly. "He became independent." The old patriarch stopped moving. Darius looked between both men carefully now. "You are reacting out of fear." Lord Rain scoffed quietly. "Fear?" "Yes." Darius gestured toward the hidden operation files still floating across the table. "You already started planning his death less than a week after he won Eclipse." His voice sharpened slightly. "Do you not hear how insane that sounds?" Cassian remained cold. "He threatened House Rain." Darius nodded once. "Because House Rain gave him every reason to." The room quieted again. Outside the fortress, the oceans below crashed endlessly against the cliffs beneath freezing rain and lightning. Then finally Darius changed approach. The anger in his voice softened slightly. "You are both missing something important." Cassian narrowed his eyes. "What?" Darius activated the projection feed again. Kenny appeared beside the forest stream once more while Pines laughed at Rissel stealing another dawnfruit berry from his satchel. Lyra sat nearby watching the chaos with visible amusement. Darius pointed toward the image. "That does not look like someone preparing immediate war." Cassian remained silent. Lord Rain looked toward Kenny quietly. The projection showed the champion kneeling beside the strange Mistrunner creature while the mountain winds moved through the forests around him. Peaceful, not plotting. Darius continued carefully. "Kenny is angry." A pause. "And he has every right to be." Lord Rain's expression darkened slightly. "But he is not stupid." The old patriarch folded his arms. "Your point." "My point." Darius slowly looked between them. "Is that you still have a chance to stop this becoming permanent." Silence. Even Cassian listened now. Darius stepped closer toward the war table. "He invited me there himself." That caught attention immediately. The uncle activated the memory recording from the ceremony itself, Kenny embracing him warmly beneath the imperial banners. Then Kenny's exact words replayed softly through the chamber. "If you ever want to talk, come visit my new home." The recording ended. Darius looked directly toward his father. "He gave House Rain one final opening through me." Cassian remained thoughtful now. Lord Rain finally spoke quietly. "And if this is manipulation?" Darius shrugged once. "Then I die." The room fell silent again. That answer was too calm, too genuine. Darius walked slowly around the war chamber while speaking. "You both know Kenny trusted almost nobody growing up." He looked toward Lord Rain. "But he trusted me." The brotherhood between them had fractured years ago, yet even now Lord Rain did not deny that statement. Because it was true. Darius continued. "If he truly intends immediate war against us, then I will see it myself." Cassian narrowed his eyes slightly. "And if he does not?" Darius stopped walking, then quietly answered. "Then perhaps for the first time in decades." He looked directly at both men. House Rain tries honesty instead of fear. The storm outside cracked violently again. The old patriarch slowly turned back toward the projection of Eidolon Reach rotating above the table. Population growth continued climbing rapidly. Colony cities expanded daily. People were choosing Kenny willingly. That part still disturbed him deeply. But Darius was right about one thing. If they moved too aggressively too early, they risked pushing Kenny permanently toward the Empire. Cassian finally spoke. You believe he can still be reasoned with? Darius nodded immediately. Yes, Lord Rain remained uncertain. He threatened to destroy us. Darius looked toward him carefully now. You threatened him first the day his mother died. That silence afterward hurt worse than the accusation itself, because Lord Rain still carried the memory whether he admitted it or not. Cassian finally exhaled slowly, then deactivated the hidden operation files one by one. The assassination plans vanished from the war table. For now. The old patriarch looked toward Darius. You will go alone. Darius nodded once. You will observe. Another nod. And you will report truthfully. Darius answered calmly. I always do. Cassian stared at him for several seconds. Then finally, he agreed. Very well. Lord Rain looked uncertain immediately. Father. Cassian raised one hand, silencing him. If Kenny truly intends war, we lose nothing. His eyes narrowed slightly. But if there remains even a fraction of loyalty left, a pause. Then perhaps this family avoids destroying itself. The chamber quieted again. Darius gave a small respectful nod before turning toward the exit. But just before leaving, he paused beside his brother. Lord Rain looked toward him carefully. Darius spoke quietly enough only he could hear. You should have loved him properly. Then he left. The storm swallowed the chamber doors shut behind him, and for the first time in many years, Lord Rain looked uncertain about his own choices, far away across the stars. Eidolon Reach slept peacefully beneath twin moons. The colony cities glowed softly across coastlines and valleys, while transport ships moved between settlements carrying supplies, settlers, and hope. Unlike most human worlds, people smiled there. Darius noticed that immediately from orbit. The shuttle descended slowly through mountain clouds, while endless forests stretched beneath him like untouched oceans of silver and green. No military checkpoints. No propaganda towers, no fear, just life. The shuttle finally lowered into the clearing outside Kenny's mountain cave, while waterfalls echoed softly through the cliffs nearby. Darius stepped down onto the stone landing platform quietly, then stopped. Kenny already stood waiting outside the cave entrance. No guards, no weapons drawn, no hostility, just Kenny. The mountain winds moved softly through his dark clothing, while one floating dagger lazily rotated beside him in the cold evening air. For several long seconds, neither moved. Then Darius slowly smiled. You really built your own world. Kenny looked around the mountains quietly, trying to. Silence settled gently between them. Not awkward, familiar. Then without hesitation, Kenny stepped forward and embraced his uncle tightly. And for the first time in years, someone from House Rain finally hugged him without wanting something in return.